Hey, what's going on, guys? HangMing here. In this video I'd like to introduce a new app derived from my CNC engine, and this time we have a game viewer. So before I start introducing the app itself, just a few words like about the history, how I came up with this sort of a app. So here I have bundled games by Chinese CNC Grandmaster Liu Dahua, and this, in order to make it possible, actually, the biggest issue I had was the format of the PGN. So my engine recognizes a so-called UCCI or UCCI or ICCS format, where well, if I just click download PGN and just in order to download the PGN we currently have there. So you see, like, this is the move notation, and yeah, by the way, downloading the PGN that of the bundle games is also available, even though it's not it's not essential, it's not necessarily needed, because you can download this in a bulk in kind of much easier way. Sorry. But anyway, so here is the move format. While before this move format I had different move formats. So here in CNC database I've scraped from World CNC Federation. So before, we just have a look at the game samples. So I had the games in this international notation or in this traditional notation, but neither of those two was kind of compatible with my engine, and also wasn't compatible with a Winboard GUI or Xboard GUI for Linux. Now it does. I've been showing you that within the previous video. But having the games themselves, so here I've created the PGN parser that has been introduced in the previous video, that allows actually to come up with this sort of a moves. Okay, so with this sort of a moves, we now can load the games into our engine. And there are two ways of doing things. So first, well, you can just pick up one of 1,001 to 5 games from the existing games. But also, if you have a game in this UCI format, so let's pick up the game, let's pick up this one. So one Steve, John Ronzin. Okay, so just copy this one and go into the engine, and here if I just paste the game in, okay, sorry, just something has gone horribly wrong. I need to, yeah, copy paste appropriately. Okay, so if I paste this game in, so we have the hitters and the move list, and I just click this load PGN. So if the game has been parsed, so here we have this kind of wrap, black, event, all this stuff. I probably need to add this little spaces. Yeah, it's one of the things to add to my to-do list to not forget. And now the game has been added as kind of next one. So, but these games, well, obviously when you reload the page in the browser, this would disappear. So this is just leaves as long as the session is alive before you click this upload button. So this is kind of it. And well, obviously we can just move forwards, move backwards. Okay, we can go to the last game, to the last move of the game, to the first move of the game. We can make some alternative moves, trying to analyze as a human, and then we can just drop back to the initial variation. Also, we can use engine move if we don't know what to do, or it also might be useful when the game is over, when the site has resigned, and for noobs like me it might not be always clear like why the site has resigned, and making the engine moves until the mate actually gives an idea of why the game was resigned, basically. So that's kind of it. So actually, the reason why I've created this, well, first of all, I'm learning to play CNC as a human myself, and I'm very interested to watch the games. But watching them on World CNC Federation site it's not really that great idea. I don't like the UI there, and I just really want to make this stuff kind of like at home with this UCCI notation that I really used to. So I don't know. That's just much more comfortable circumstances for me to learn how to play this game. And also, I don't know. Probably nobody would consider this, but for me personally, that's one of the main reasons of creating this sort of an app. It might be used for showcasing the games. Well, so I'm not. Well, I can't even claim myself a player to be a CNC player. I've managed to win versus human opponent only once in my life. Checkmated that guy. He was very low rated, but again, like that was kind of big thing, big achievement for me. So I will now try to mimic how masters annotating the games, showing the games, trying to explain the plans, maybe showing some variations, and at the very end I will also be using the engine assistance to see how the game could have go on. And also the game I've found within this list, one of the games is absolutely amazing. And again, like Liu Dahua is one of my favorite grandmasters in CNC. So there is a game where Tao HangMing plays versus Liu Dahua, and so Liu Dahua plays black, and also we can see the board from black's perspective. So to feel like and to see the board from the perspective of Liu Dahua. So see the game with his eyes. So I will now try to demonstrate the how this app in particular, how this app is intended to be used, and you guys to judge basically whether it makes sense or not. So if someone who does CNC videos, I'm really subscribed to around 5 guys making CNC video, including amazing CNCinenglish.com, maintained by GPNG. So if some of you guys is now watching this video, and if you will try to make a video on showcasing a game using this sort of an app, I would really appreciate. I would be happy to watch your video explaining the master game using this UI I've created. So without further ado, let's actually start. So Tao HangMing kicks off with the pawn move. I'm sorry for not using the traditional or international notation. Like this would be like 1, 2, 3, pawn 3 plus 1. This is the name for the move, but that's very complicated. It's enough for me to create a PGN parser that actually converts this moves to human readable, like UCCI format I've been demonstrating, like this one here. So kick starts with the pawn, and well, I'm nobody to say what's the idea behind this move, but what I can say, so let's say if the knight goes here, then it's no longer it would be hard to develop the knight because the pawn is blocked. So if we just step forward with the pawn captures, and that's gonna be so the knight would be blocked, also be attacked by the pawn later on. So it's not a good idea. So the idea behind this move is actually to slow down the development of the left side. So let's see the response, and well, black responds solidly with the same idea. So if white blocks the left flank, then black actually blocks the right flank, and exactly the same stuff. So if now just knight goes here, then again, like, it's not going anywhere. But on the other hand, this knight can be going here and then here, and also this knight going here. So here we have a fight for central squares. But let's see what happens next. So the next move, white moves its cannon. Yeah, by the way, guys, for those of you who's not used to traditional notation like I do, you can use this Romanized notation. This really annoys me, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to be using that because that really annoys me. But also you can use dark theme if you want. This is also quite pretty nice, but I'm sorry, I just dropped back to initial stuff. So here the idea is that from now on the cannon is actually threatening to capture this pawn. So this is the idea behind this move. I'm sorry, okay, so yeah, cannon threatens to take the pawn. But Liu Dahua ignores this threat, and he, on his own side, he just kind of tries to capture this central pawn. So I think that capturing central pawn is kind of better compared to capturing this one. So this exchange would be in black's favor. Well, at least I think so. So Tao HangMing doesn't capture immediately. He pushes the pawn. He well, as I can see here, he wants actually black to capture the pawn basically, but this doesn't happen within the game. So instead, Liu Dahua captures the central pawn with his cannon, and then and actually he sacrifices the pawn. Well, he doesn't really sacrifice the pawn, but anyway, Tao HangMing doesn't take with his cannon, but instead he takes with his pawn. And the next move, well, it's very interesting because it's really something that reminds me the fool's mate. Well, probably I can show you this quickly. So we just duplicate the this sort of a stuff, and well, let me just try to play some very dumb moves just to demonstrate the idea behind the fool's mate. So here we actually got this fool's mate. Yeah, I was showing this within the viewer. Well, if this was within the engine mode, it would show the checkmate here. Well, yeah, the idea is, well, that actually now black doesn't really have any moves to deal with. It doesn't, right? So yeah. So and when two cannons are put into a single line on a single file, threatening the king, well, this always reminds me of this fool's mate. So what Liu Dahua does, he is really preparing to put his cannons into this file, the central file. But yeah, so hold on a sec, guys. I just want to check one little thing. Is this gonna be a checkmate if some other move is played? So let's say black goes like this, and now let's ask the engine. So no, it's not a checkmate. Sorry, it is a checkmate. Yeah, but for some reason I don't know why I didn't show the checkmate. So yeah, this is the threat to checkmate in one. I'm just hold on a sec. So here in this position, notes. Yeah, so this is the engine move. Okay, again, sorry guys, just so here and the engine move. Yeah, made in one. Yeah, so it's okay. Yeah, made in one. Yeah, he showed this. Sorry. So the made in one is threatening. So this is the threat by black. So actually, after this move, this made in one is threatening, and in order to avoid this mate, red pushes the pawn, and you just have a look. I know I'm getting inspired by this fantastic attacking style by Liu Dahua. So red is pushing pawn forwards in order to prevent this mate in one. So the threat is renewed again. So the same idea wants to mate in one, but in this case, but hold on a sec, is this not gonna be a mate in one? Sorry guys, I just probably missed something in this game. So let me just see the engine's move. Oh, the idea that, yeah, it's a check. It's actually a check. So yeah, sorry. So yeah, things are really getting interesting. So again, like mate in one is threatening, but and actually at the same time, you just have a look at this beautiful sacrifice. So Liu Dahua is sacrificing his bishop. So now at the moment the bishop is hanging. So say like bishop can be captured, okay? And that's exactly what happens. So Tao HangMing actually captures the bishop, and now it's a check. So he can checkmate in one. Liu Dahua can't checkmate in one because he is under check. So this is his king, and this cannon attacks the king because there is a piece in between of them. Okay, so another interesting move, fantastic move. So instead of moving, say instead of defending like this, it's also a defense from a check, but Liu Dahua does a different thing. He just goes forwards with his king, and now this is another defensive move. So if black didn't do this, then after this next check, he would be checkmated again. So all this mating threats just straight away, just straight ahead out of the opening. And now Liu Dahua is developing his rook to connect the rook to the attack to potentially go to this square and limit the scope of king's squares to hide away from black pieces. So, well, I'm not sure what's the purpose of this knight move. So it covers this square. Well, I'm not sure why exactly. Maybe, yeah, it's not really going anywhere but here, also here. But yeah, it's a little bit unclear for me regarding this knight move. So yeah, it's at very least it seems to be a strange opening from the red's perspective. I don't know. Maybe this is some sort of a theoretical variation. I don't know. But the position of red seems to be doomed already, even for a noob like me, because you see, like the black pieces, the big black major pieces like cannons and rook is coming to the attack. So it seems like the black king should be done soon. Another strange move. I don't know why didn't he play, let's say, why didn't he play here? Because here he falls into a check immediately. So it's a little bit strange to me. Why didn't play in this side? Well, at very least, a couple of he could have a couple of extra tempos there. Well, I might be telling some nonsense though. So let's see what happens. So Liu Dahua is not checking immediately. Instead, he develops another rook. So now both rooks can actually, you see, like this rook can go here, cutting the king. This rook goes here. So it's absolutely crushing position from the black's perspective. So let's see what happens. Well, I have no idea what's the logic behind this move. So I think that black should have, I don't know, maybe develop his advisor trying to hide from. I don't know. Maybe that's bad. That is a bad idea. Well, I don't know, but the king safety of red king really sucks in this position. So so let's see what's happened. What has happened? So develops the rook, and now finally we get a check. Okay, so can he go here? No, because this so it's not going here, right? Because actually there would be an attack, even no illegal moves for king at the moment, as you see. Engine doesn't show. So defense with the cannon here. Okay, finally I realized that the idea behind this move. So now he can defend with the cannon and rook can't capture. Well, actually couldn't capture because king would recapture back. So yeah, still it's a little bit strange move. Okay, so developing a bishop. And it's not just a development of a bishop. It's actually attack of this cannon. And also have a look that this cannon has really little scope. It can only go here or here. Here it would be captured by the rook. So let's see. But it doesn't even try to defend. Well, instead he's trying to attack the knight. So if, let's say, takes, and then, let me just show you an example variation. So let's say takes, and then takes. This would be what red wants. But, yeah, and actually, yeah, that's exactly what happened in the game. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I've just I've just guessed the grandmaster's moves. Yeah, this is so cool. Okay, so what's next? So putting the rook on the semi-open fold, and already we have the threat. So rook is going here to check the king. It's not a checkmate. Well, at very least we can defend with an advisor. But anyway, the second rook is connecting to the attack. Is joining the attacking forces of black pieces. Okay, so it seems like the red rook is simply attacking the black cannon. Nothing much. Okay. Supports by the pawn. So now if rook takes, then pawn takes. So let's see, takes. Rook is much more expensive than the cannon, so it's not an option. It's much better for black. So this doesn't happen really. Okay, so it's a little bit strange regarding the idea behind this rook move. Well, probably at very least is trying to not allowing the black rook to come in, but this is still possible because the rook are supporting each other. Okay, so king goes back. It should be a more safe position. You just have a look at the black pieces. So all the attacking pieces are in the center and targeting the red king, while the red pieces are either undeveloped or silly, not connected like this rooks, like this rook and this rook. They are not connected. And yeah, actually, hold on a sec. Does this allow the sacrifice? Does he actually sacrifice a cannon here? I mean, hold on a sec. He doesn't sacrifice a cannon, but what happens? What happens if he sacrifices the cannon? Check. Let's see the engine. What engine says? Is this going to be a forced checkmate? I'm just really wondering. Okay. Well, it's really hard to say. Oh, he just wins material. It seems like he just wins material. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit of a rocket science to me. So for some reason, here in this position. Ah, hold on a sec. What am I doing, man? If he takes, the pawn recaptures. Ah, what am I doing? Yeah, obviously. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so what's happening next? So step back with the king. Now pawn attacks this pawn because when crossing the river, pawn can go and attack sideways as well. Okay. So yeah, it's not threatening anything. Yeah, it's not really threatening anything. Well, for me personally, it seems like a waste of time. And now black is just offering the exchange of cannons to say this cannon takes, then rook takes. Yeah, but red refuses that exchange. Okay, hitting the knight. Where the knight goes? Here or here? In both cases, the knight's position would be really bad. And also, it seems like red is losing the bishop, but I guess Liu Dahua is not going to be taking that bishop. Okay, just he defends by putting his cannon in between the rooks, in the middle of the rooks. Okay, stepping back with the cannon. Where it was? Well, it's a bit unclear move to me, so probably just rerouting his pieces. But if one of the pieces would step here, then the king would have been check. So, okay, by the time red is, well, is red actually, hold on a second, let me just make some silly move and see. No, red is not attacking, so because this rook is blocking, yeah, so it's not an attack for a cannon, it's just a development move. So probably trying to connect the knight, to bring the knight closer to the king to support the defense of the king. Okay. So it seems like black simply solidifying its position, trying to improve the king's safety, and by that time, red is offering the exchange of rooks. So say takes, knight takes, and then these two pawns would be under fire, and well, potentially red would be having some counterplay. So yeah, Liu Dahua avoids exchange of rooks, and he even sacrifices his knight. Can you believe this? But yeah, for some reason, just doesn't take. Well, let's see what happens if red takes. Is this gonna be a disaster? Okay, is this already a checkmate? Well, not this one, but I feel like soon it's gonna be a checkmate here. Okay, just winning too many material, really lots of material. Yeah, so just totally crushing position here. Yeah, so that knight is poisoned, so can't take that knight really. Okay, so doesn't take the knight, but the plan is still the same. So going for a check. So king hound starts here, defense with a cannon. Rook can take because hold on a sec. Actually, rook can take. Knight is not. No, sorry. Knight can recapture because this is empty. Yeah, this square. So if rook takes, then knight recaptures. So it's not an option. But hold on a sec. Did it actually? Oh. Yeah, the game is over here. Yeah, okay. Here the game has ended, and based on the further analysis I've made with my engine, it seems like Red actually resigned because we have a checkmate here by Black. So let's open the engine again. I'm just opening my developer tools because the engine is operating within the console. So we can simply see. So let's see how engine would end this game via self-play. So it's not really significant in terms of depth. So just so here it goes. Oh, even hits the depth 10. Well, it's quite pretty nice. Only thinking for 1 second. So here is the idea. So Red thinks that so that his cannon is untouchable, but actually Liu Dahua takes that, showing that losing this rook and actually exchanging this rook for a cannon still leads to the crushing win, and this is how it is. So if the game would continue, this is the first move by the engine. Okay, so rook takes, check. Okay, okay, let's try to guess the move game. So how would you checkmate as a human? So we have a cannon here. Well, what I would do as a human to lose this winning position, I don't know, probably go in with the cannon here to force a check. Then king goes here. And what else? Maybe rook goes here for a check. Well, let's see what engine does here. Oh, actually, yeah, he probably does even better. So check. King can't capture because king is not allowed to leave the palace. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squares. So this check, but this is check, but can't capture the rook really. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't really press that button. Okay. So king drops back. What else? So now starting. So yeah, it seems like just won a rook. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I just want to. Yeah, he just won a rook. Yeah, might not be really that handy to not being able to take the move back, the move that is done by the engine, but that's kind of sort of a limitation. Okay, so let's see. So after, yeah, here. Oh, it goes for a different variation. Hold on a sec. Nope. Let's start again. And takes here. And rook attacks. Okay. So now when the king moves away, he just wins an entire rook, which is already really good. Okay, so now he wins the rook. No, he doesn't take. Hold on a sec. Why he doesn't take the rook? Ah, because this is check now. So yeah, maybe. Yeah, probably the transposition table has been has been loaded a little bit, so he found a better move now. Okay, yeah, this happens. So now another check. So after moving advisor here, we have another check from this cannon. So now the king is under the check. So let's see what happens. Okay, defense. Now captures the rook finally. Okay. And was threatening the knight, so knight has to drop back, and this knight is very ugly because it has become undeveloped again, while the king is almost being mated. Okay, just starting eating all the pieces. Okay. Yeah, just eating all the pieces, literally. Okay. Advisor is supporting another advisor, I guess. Okay, pawn goes here. Ah, this was a check and move because, yeah, just move back the advisor to check. And now, in order to step away from that check, this pawn moves. Yeah, that's the case. Okay, but now another check. So by moving cannon here, this cannon is checking the rack king again. So let's see what happens. Okay, preventing the check. But now, okay, it's just crushingly winning. Takes all the material. Okay. It's just so crushing position. Okay. So what is threatening in this position? It's a check here. Double check by the rook and by the cannon. But the king can go here. Well, it's a bit unclear. It's still a bit unclear on how to mate. I don't see the mating scores yet, even at the depth of 9. Okay. Still no mating scores. Yeah, this is gonna be a masterpiece by the engine. Yeah, he starts just giving all his pieces away just to avoid getting checkmated. But I still can't see the mating scores. Okay. So this was check. Now defending from check again. Okay. It's gonna take. Okay, check. Yeah, engines love to take all the material. Hold on a sec. No, so the rook is protected. Okay, no worries. The rook is protected by the cannon. So let's see what happens next. You just don't do the 3-4 repetition, please. He gives it. Oh, hold on a sec. Well, okay, so now black definitely should win because rook up, cannon up. Okay, and we have mate in 5 moves. Okay, so the first mate in score. By the way, guys, one of the ideas I have in mind for the future development regarding this project is trying to extract the mating positions from all these 40,000 games I've scraped from World CNC Federation. So to have positions like this, well, here we have the mate in 5 position. Well, I can't see this mate in 5 yet. We'll now try to find this together with you guys. But what's the interesting thing, that if imagine that we can extract this like positions from all the 40,000 games, and then we can use them. We can feed those positions to my puzzle solver, which is very similar up to the both like engine and this game viewer. So we can just at the moment I have really a few just three puzzles, literally only 3 puzzles, but here we can have really like hundreds of puzzles if I just complete that work on extracting FENs containing the mating scores within inside them. So that's kind of the next step for me to consider. Well, okay, so let's try to find mate in 5. So who is to move? So, well, I guess so now it's probably, okay, hold on a sec, just engine print board. I just want to see who is to move here. So red to move. Okay, so we're playing black, and let just red make a move. And now, yeah, mate in 5. So let's try to think how can we mate in 5 moves, in 5 plies to be exact. So it's kind of 2 moves and a half. Yeah, that's probably the more correct way to call this. Okay. Let's say rook goes here. I just can't try the variation because the entire line would get dropped after, so only can play this guess the move game. Okay, let's say I go here. with the rook. So, well, let's assume that there are no pawns. Okay, so say I go here, king is not going here or here. It has the only move. You can only go here, right? And okay, and then if I just move rook here, and again I can assume there is no pawns, then this would be a checkmate. But yeah, it takes, so it's more than 5 plies if we just go for grabbing all the pawns. So maybe there is a faster solution. So say well, he can sacrifice the pawn. Well, I don't know. Let's say if there are no pawns, then I will go here, king goes here, and I go here, and that's the stalemate, which is the winning here still. So I don't even know if say cannon go in somewhere here. It doesn't seem to be making sense. Maybe just like as a waiting move. Well, I don't know. Let's see. So well, seems like a waiting move so far, but yeah, also seems like it's just trying to grab the pawn. Is it gonna grab the pawn? Nope. Okay, so this move is protecting. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, it does protect the rook, but the rook is not attacked. So, oh, hold on a sec. Yeah, now I can see the mate, I guess. So whatever move. Well, probably. Why we go with the pawn here? Because what's the threat here? So let's say now it's black's moves. So we have a mate in 1 here. If rook goes 1 square to the left, then it's check, and it can't defend. So king can go here because opposing kings are not allowed by the rules. So this is going to be a checkmate. So this move is threatening. So in order to avoid this move, so I would go here with a pawn to disable this attacking ray by the king. So probably pawn would go here now. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So and now probably rook takes, and the next move it would be a checkmate. Yeah. And the next move, this is the checkmate. Okay, guys. So this is how cool CNC is basically. So yeah, and this is why Tao HangMing actually resigned. So you see, like Liu Dahua had really crushing position, winning lots of material, and eventually, yeah, just checkmating because he's tons of pieces up, tons of material up, and that's the reason why I resigned this game. Okay, guys, so this is it from my side. I hope you love the app, and feel free to play around with the app itself if you're interested in regarding the particular game. This is the game 1111. Sorry, game 1111. Tao HangMing playing red versus Liu Dahua playing black. So feel free to examine the game, to play around with the engine. This is extremely addicting and very interesting and very useful, I believe, from the human player perspective. Also feel free to see the engine analysis here. So I think this is it, and again, like the next step to consider would be to generate this mate in and moves positions and add them to my puzzle solver here. So it would be not 3 positions but really more positions. And another idea within the engine itself, I have a very miserable opening books. It's not even to be called the opening book, just a single line for every opponent. So if you just have a look at here is the player. Okay, so here we just can play chess. So these are the bots. But yeah, so the problem here is I just show you the opening lines that we have there. So we just go into new subscriber. Thanks for subscribing, man. Thanks. Okay, so source GUI game bots here. So you see, like only a single opening line that I did input by hands, but now when we do have this really 40,000 games, really there is a source to get the opening lines from. So great source of games to get the opening lines from. So it might be it might be interesting to create a solid opening book based on these games. So this engine player would be really stronger with a solid opening repertoire. So I think that makes sense, and a new update is about to come quite pretty soon. By now, you just can have fun with this games viewer. So thanks for watching, guys. This is it from my side. I'm sorry for noobs analysis. I didn't mean to say like I know something about CNC. I just wanted to showcase how I intend to use this app, how this is intended to be used. So if you guys making these videos on breaking down master games, and if you take my app to create a couple of videos using this app, I would really appreciate it, and it would be really fun to watch how you're using this app and doing a real analysis, not this disaster that I did in this video. But that's kind of it from my side. So okay, guys, thanks for watching. Until the next time, and take care.